Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Talk Scottish Football. It's me, Mr. Ryan 118, as you already know when you see my face, but I'm joined alongside for the first time showing his face to the channel. It's Mr. David Buick. David, how are we today?
We can title the video Face Reveal.
Face reveal, exactly. There we go. Big Dave shows face. It's fantastic to see. Look, both of us.
Podcasting.
I know both of us are in our retro numbers today. Yep, you've got your 2007 Scotland top on. I've got my 1997 Celtic top on. It's a lovely aesthetic today, but we've got a video that has been put forward by you. Once again, with all these videos that are going on through quarantine, I'd like to just quickly say we do apologise for the lack of, top-notch equipment and technologies in the video. We don't have two quid to rub between us together, so we are trying to make do with what we have got, and obviously the separation, the distance does come into play as well. But today David has came up with a fantastic wee video based off something that was seen on the Sky Sports YouTube channel over the past couple of weeks. David,
so
take us through what we're doing today.
We're still an idea of Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, basically. So they came up with an idea that was basically inspired by, what was it, the NBA draft or something?
The NFL. I think it was the NFL draft they took off, but it's not the same. It's not the same, innit?
So basically, they picked 10 players from the world of football that they were going to draft for, say, like the next 5 years or so, in terms of like potential and stuff and all that carry on. So I thought, what better way to sort of reply to that than do a Scottish football version. So we've come up with a wee idea. We're going to pick 10 players each, basically, with the idea of the future of football in mind. We're going to pick 3 players who are Scottish, so that can be, they can play anywhere, basically. 3 players from the Scottish Premiership, 2 from the Scottish Championship, 1 from League One and 1 from League Two in Scotland as well. And basically, let the people decide whose picks are the better.
Well, the last time we done this, the people decided that I picked the better. So you were looking for
11 for a game that never even happened.
No, exactly. We were meant to be there, and no, look, down the pan. But obviously, in the draft, usually there is something that they would decide who gets the first pick, who is going to have the advantage of perhaps picking the most obvious and best player available. Keep in mind, as Dave has already said, this is based on the future. If you're seeing players left out, say, for example, a Scott Brown. Who knows? One of us might pick Scott Brown. Scott Brown is 34 years of age. For the next 5 years of Scottish football, Scott Brown's not going to be a bit for those 5. So he may miss out, just maybe miss out in this. But we've decided we're going to go with the high technological procedure of a coin flip to see who is getting the first pick. David, since you lost the last poll and I won, I'll let you pick first. Would you like heads or tails?
I'll take heads, mate.
You're going to take heads, right? Okay. We're going to see you have got the, second pick in the draft because it's tails it's landed on. No cheating, I swear. I'm trying my best to keep things fair. I'm trying to keep things fair over here. I've got the whole pool ahead of me now, so I can pick literally
first pick.
Yep, I can pick anybody. So just to clarify, the first 3 picks are any Scottish player at all. And I think I would be robbing myself, and I think I would be creating such an injustice if I didn't make the first pick of this draft. And David, I don't know if this is who you're thinking of, but for me, it's pretty obvious. Everybody knows my love for him. I'm going for Meatball himself, John McGinn. John McGinn is the first player. Is that not who you were going to pick? No,
definitely not who I was going to take first.
Really? Okay, I think I know who you're going to take. But
like, give the people some justification for this as a first pick.
Well, John McGinn.
Yeah.
Well, for me, John McGinn is ultimately Scotland's best player, apart from maybe Andy Robertson. But, I mean, if I'm looking for someone who is going to command my team and be in the most important position in the park, there is really no better option, I think. And I think he can do everything. He can go forward, he can defend, he's aggressive, and he's got a lot of technical ability. And he's shown that at even Aston Villa in the Premier League that he will go to a higher level, whether that is, a team like Manchester United, there's all talk of a £50 million move to somewhere like there. He will go to the top level in the Premier League when he's fit again, and I really don't see why I wouldn't take him as my first pick. Yes, Andy Robertson is a Champions League winning left back who is one of Liverpool's best players, and everyone's ranting and raving about him. But for me, John McGinn has got that character, that ability to hold down a full team lead and just chip in everywhere.
Well, I mean, John McGinn, yeah, he was on my list of my 3. I had him down for a pick later on, but I'm not even going to go with Andy Robertson as my.
You're not going for Andy Robertson.
I think if we're talking about the future of football, there's only one Scottish guy.
Oh, I know where you're going here.
Well, for the future, I'm going to take Billy Gilmore as my first pick.
Fair enough.
I
Fair
think
enough.
for me, he picks himself.
Right.
If Roy Keane thinks he's good, then
It's hard to please Roy Keane. Let's be
exactly.
honest.
Roy Keane said, what was it he said? That he put his cup of tea down and looked at the TV when he saw Billy Gilmore playing. So, yeah, this guy's a star. We've talked about him so many times. I think in terms of like the future of Scottish football, there's only one man that could have been picked, and I think I've got the sort of best pick out the road so far.
Oh, really? Well, you know, John McGinn's only, what, 24, 25? I've got his prime years.
Billy Gilmore 19 yet? Is he 19 yet?
But think, in the next 5 years, Billy Gilmore won't even be in his prime, David.
I just don't know if John. I mean, I keep going back to those few games that he had for the first team for Chelsea, Billy Gilmore, and the quality performance. It wasn't like he was just, he did okay. He was like a standout by some distance. So
right,
I think if he put that level of performance in, he's only going to get better, especially with the sort of coaching he's going to get at Chelsea and stuff. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Right, cool. For the second pick in the draft, I feel like Adam Silver or David Stern walking out. The second pick in the NBA draft. I am going to go for. I ignore it now. It's there. Andy Robertson. I may as well take Robbo because I mean quality is obscene with this. I really did want to pick Kieran Tierney, despite some maybe controversial opinions. I did want to maybe take Tierney, but Robertson is, as I've already said, Champions League winner, Premier League Team of the Year player, still young, going to go and win a league title with Liverpool, their first league title in 30 years. I would be stupid to pass up on the opportunity of taking him if it's all about trying to assemble the best picks here. So Andy Robertson, I don't see why I wouldn't. And plus, Kieran Tierney's got the biscuit hips in it, so.
Yeah, I mean that Kieran Tierney's not even. He was like I had backup picks, and he was like the sixth backup I had. Like it's just his injury record's knackered for him in terms of like, is he going to be? I mean, is he going to be reliable? Is the kind of the big thing.
You can only hope at such a young age that his injuries will start to fade away, and he'll get to be the player that we all know he can be. But there's no guarantee.
Games, I think there's no doubt. Even like the sort of flashes he had at Arsenal. The Arsenal fans were impressed with him. He was really good. So yeah, hopefully he'll turn it around. He isn't going to be one of my picks. My second pick, it's a bit of a toss up for me here. I'm going to take a guy. This is a guy who a year ago I wasn't that big on him at all, really. In the past sort of year, he's been very good. I'm going to take Scott McTominay.
Right. Okay, that's annoying because he was going to be my third pick. So
right,
you're still one from me there.
Think that, Scott McTominay, when he's been out of that Man United team, they've missed him. I mean, a lot of us, me especially, I thought he was just in there because, it's the worst Man United team for God knows how long. He was just in there because they had no one else. But he's he does more than hold his own. And I think we started to see it for Scotland as well, that he was turning into a quality player. So I think in terms of the future, he's definitely one that's going to be. I can see him playing in the sort of top six of the Premier League for the foreseeable. So yeah, he's definitely someone that I want to draft.
Right, fair enough. It's annoying because obviously I don't know if we've already said, but we've got this rule that we can only pick one player from each team. So we can't have two, Celtic players, two Man United players, if there even was two to pick from. You know what I'm saying? Like we can only have one from each team. So I was going to make a third pick that would have dipped into the Premiership, but I feel like there's not too much point of wasting it. I may as well just wait till we get there because I don't think I'm going to pick him. For my third pick, I think he is getting on a little bit. His age has, he's still one of those players like a James of Forest type character. You think to yourself, still a young boy, but he's gradually getting older. We just don't realise it in front of us. I'm going to go with, because I wanted McTominay, I've had to go with an emergency backup choice from the Premier League as well. I'm going to go with Ryan Fraser. I think Ryan Fraser's just technically a very gifted player, and I think he would suit. It's the fact that he's in that Bournemouth team just now that I think he maybe isn't hitting the heights that he could. I'm not saying he's a player who deserves to be in, a Man United, Man City side, but I think Bournemouth have struggled that much this season that maybe he's not been as prolific or potentially as good as he can be this season.
Well, I mean, you look at Liverpool's front three. They don't have much replacement. If you put Ryan Fraser in as a backup to come on, even if he played like the last 20 minutes of games for a team like Liverpool, there's no doubt he could do that.
Oh, exactly. So I don't think it's a bad pick at all, going with Ryan Fraser. As I said, he is getting on a wee bit now. Somebody who's been about for it seems like no long, but it actually has been. But I just think he's somebody who's got pace. He can score goals. He can create goals. I think it was especially the 2018-19 season. There was a period in that season where he kept being named a team of the week player. He had fantastic. I'm not talking about FIFA by the way, but he was someone that you looked at every week and you could highlight how good he could be. So I'm going to go with Fraser for my third pick.
Okay, so my third pick. Oh, this is annoying because the whole you can't use a club twice thing is starting to annoy me as well now, because the person who I've got written down here and the person who I'm probably going to take deprives me of a big team in the next round of picks. So
okay, right.
I'm going to go for it anyway, and I'm going to take Cal McGregor as my next pick.
Oh no, I should have done it. You're still my player, man. You bluffed me. You bluffed me. I said to you the other day when we were planning this, Cal McGregor. I went, oh no, Cal McGregor isn't one of the players I was thinking.
But was Cal McGregor going to be your Celtic player?
Aye, he was. He was going to be my Celtic player, and you took him from me.
Oh, I wish I hadn't taken him now.
Oh well, it's too late. You've stole him now. You've got him.
Really? Cal McGregor was going to be your Celtic player?
Yes, he was. I think Cal McGregor, before you even begin to elaborate on him, is consistently the best player. I think that he's consistently the best player in Scotland, without a doubt.
Wow, so, that's a big claim.
Well, you name someone who's as consistent as him in a better level.
Well, I mean, we'll come on. Well, I can't believe that you weren't going to take Odsonne Edouard. That's what.
Well, we'll see now. But McGregor was my first choice, and I was going to explain that when I picked him. But you went and done it now, so on you go. Explain why.
Listen, I mean, you've said is the thing about Cal McGregor is consistency, and the thing that Cal McGregor has going from that someone like Tierney doesn't is he's always available. He always plays games, reliable in the fact that when McGregor plays, you're going to get a 7 out of 10 pretty much every time at least, and then. He can kind of do it all in the middle. We've seen it. I think it was a time last season when Brown was out injured for a while. He played a deeper role in Celtic's midfield, and they looked almost, they didn't miss a beat really with him being there. We know he can play further forward. He can play off the left. And for someone who's still, at a really, really good age, he's played so much and achieved so much. I think it's only going to get better. The question is, how long does he stay at Celtic in terms of his development?
I think you're potentially looking at somebody who stays a very long time at Celtic, but money talks sometimes.
For me, it depends on what he wants. I don't think there's any difference. You go to
It's the same thing as Brendan Rodgers, isn't it? You've got those limitations. Right, well, that is the first round done. You could say all Scottish players were up for selection. Now we move, and now it's any nationality. We move into the Scottish Premiership, where the ball is back in my court, and you've already basically gifted me my pick. And I'm not exactly mad, because I think if you look at playing their best and the peak that they can get to, including Scottish players, I believe this one is the best. Odsonne Edouard.
That's why I can't believe you weren't going to take him. I think
I was looking at consistency, and I was thinking about versatility when I was looking at McGregor. So. Yes, look, Edouard for me is better at his best than, or will be at least, than what Andy Robertson is. That might be a bold claim. A lot of people won't agree with that because once went and won the Champions League and Odsonne Edouard's up in Scotland, for God's sake. But there is no doubt Edouard will be that calibre of player moving forward in his career. I've got to go with him. That's my Celtic pick. I think it would be stupid of me to take anyone else. For me, there was only 2 players for Celtic that I could have picked, and they were the 2. I'm not exactly mad. That's the player I'm left with, but he can score, he can create, he can literally do everything. He's physical. He's a specimen, and this is a guy who will go down the route of superstar. And I'm very happy to have him. Right now, my 4 picks are looking tasty, I think.
Yeah, I think that Edouard, and I think the 2 players that we'll have picked today with the biggest sort of ceilings in terms of what they can achieve are probably Edouard and I think Gilmore as well. In terms of their limit just now, it's sky high for both of them. You said there was 2 Celtic players you wanted. There was another one that I would have taken, but obviously I can't now. I'd have taken Jeremy Frimpong if I got the chance as well. I think he's another one.
Yeah, you said that. That's why I didn't think you'd go for McGregor.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just as a Scottish pick, I couldn't think of many others to take. But for my first Premiership pick, then I'm going to have to go down a different sort of road with this. I'm going to take a Rangers player straight up. I'm going to take Mr. Yanis Hadji as my first pick.
Oh, right. Okay, I didn't even consider Hadji. I forgot about him completely, honestly.
it's all about potential, isn't it? I think this lad's shown that. I mean, considering he came into Rangers at a time when they were playing their worst football under Steven Gerrard and having their worst results under Steven Gerrard, he was pretty much always the kind of standout. I think. I mean, that game against Braga is what Rangers fans all talk about when they talk about Hadji, and I think he showed there the ability he's got. I just think, in terms of like potential to do well in the game, he's one of the brightest talents we've got up here, and I think if Rangers can keep hold of him, that'll be a big coup for them. So, yeah, he's my first pick.
Fair enough. If we're talking, my fifth pick, if we're talking potential, you've got to go with that.
No enthusiasm for you at all about Hadji at all, is there?
Well, it's a good pick, I can't lie. But if we're talking potential, what about that boy Jermaine Defoe? Because the potential here, he's not my pick. Of course, he's not my pick. Number 5, look, for me, the Rangers team, you have taken the star. You've taken the one who I think, even though he slipped my mind, would be the most logical option, the most logical route to go down. But for me, the past few match days, as David's face is there, you're back. You froze for a second. We got a nice still image of you.
Well, for me.
So the Rangers team over the last few match days has proven to me that maybe some players aren't the calibre that they were at one point, and there's a lot that are slacking. But once I've got to go with Morelos, haven't I? I have to take Alfredo Morelos. Like, if we're looking for the best players there, I would love to have picked, well, not love to have, but I would have liked to have picked Alan McGregor. But he's, 33 years old? So for the next 5 years of football, I think Alan McGregor, quality-wise, is probably the best in that Rangers team. Apart from maybe Hadji, as he's shown over the last few match days. But Morelos...
McGregor, I think he's reached a point there where you can tell he's past the peak, though, I think.
But see, the thing is, I think if McGregor has a team around him which will motivate him to play well, and he knows there's something to play for, you will get far better out of him. I think he's looking at that Rangers team and thinking to himself, why do I even bother?
I just think genuinely you can see now he's starting to get a bit leggy and stuff, and just the way the body's not quite, what it used to be.
Still a top keeper. Yeah, still a top keeper.
For success at Rangers and anyone else, I think that's partly the issue, is they don't have levels of motivation.
I'm going for Morelos anyway, because if you're looking at somebody else who is going to, ultimately leave the Scottish game to be better, he's the one on that team that is going to do it. And yes, the goals may have dried up in the past few months for him, but once again, I think it's a case of giving him a bit up the backside, and you will see him get goals again. I don't think it's
a liability again, though, doesn't it? I mean, we said it with Tierney.
Yeah.
You're going to sort. We thought at the start of this year he'd turned the corner, and then he spiraled again. So.
I'm going to go with him anyway, as much as I do hate the choice. But Morelos is my pick, number 5? So I'm feeling confident right now.
My second Scottish pick. This is a tough one. There's only really 2 left that I've got, actually, because I kind of forgot I accidentally picked 2 Rangers players. Incidentally, the other Rangers player that I would have picked, I wouldn't have picked Morelos, because I think... Yeah, I don't know, maybe I would have done. The one that I had in my head from Rangers was Barisic, because I think he's quality, and I think that he can easily move on to a bigger and better team. I think Borna Barisic would start for Celtic. So.
You think he'd start for Celtic?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's better than any left back Celtic have got.
Better than Johnny Hayes?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, I'm a fan.
Well, who would you pick in a draft, Johnny Hayes or Barisic?
Johnny Hayes, of course.
Of course he
would. Of course I would.
So for my second pick, I'm going to pick a guy who, for his age, has played a remarkable amount of football. He's got experience playing in the Premiership in Scotland, and he's been one of his team's best players. I'm taking Lewis Ferguson as my next pick.
That's a good pick, and to be honest, you've probably stole my next pick in doing that as well. But I've got a couple of names in the back of my head, so I'll let you have it.
Yeah, I think that, I'll tell you right now though, I think Lewis Ferguson could, I mean, if I was Celtic or Rangers, I'd be looking to bring him in. I know, obviously, the chances of him going to Celtic are probably quite low.
Yeah, I think the family history has something to do with it,
Yeah, Uncle Barry, you don't think he'd be too happy. But listen, if you're Celtic and you're looking for long-term how you're replacing Scott Brown, in terms of talent that's out there in Scotland, I don't think there's anyone better, really. Middle of the park can kind of do it all, really, as well. So, yeah, I think. And also, I mean, what is he? I think he's only 21, if he's even 21 yet. He's played an unbelievable amount of football, firstly for Hamilton, and then in the past 2 seasons for Aberdeen, he's been a standout. So he's definitely someone I'd want to take for the future of football going forward.
There's a couple of controversial names in my head for pick number 6. The ones that you would judge me for big time. I can tell you that right now.
I'm looking forward to this.
But I am going to try and play it a bit more safe, and
Right.
I'm going to take my last Premiership pick with someone who is also a gamble, but still young. But I think he'll recover, and I'm going to take David Turnbull.
Oh,
Is that who you're going to take? Is
yeah,
that it?
so
Well, look, David Turnbull has obviously been out for now, what, 9 months, with a very bad leg injury after
well,
the
I mean, he
surgery.
just got back into the squads and off the bench. But
He managed to play a wee bit of the game, but look, I think this is a sort of injury, surgery. I think he'll come back from. I think he'll play the quality of football that he once did. He's still, what, 21, 22 years old. I don't think it's a bad pick at all. I really like Turnbull. Once again, I will reiterate, I don't think there's too much of a need of Celtic to sign him. Just in case somehow Neil Lennon or Peter Law's listening. But he is nonetheless a great player, and he'll go on to do good things. Obviously, he was meant to get that move down to Norwich, then Celtic, and both of them falling apart. We know that he has got a lot of potential in his game, and ultimately, I never played in the middle of the park who offers so much.
right, well, this is me kind of snookered now because I actually don't have another name down, so I'm kind of
Oh,
racking it on my head now. For some reason, I completely
wow.
forgot my rules, and I had two Celtic players and two Rangers players.
Mr. Organised has now found himself disorganised or
Yes,
unorganised.
so I'm gonna. Oh, good. What am I gonna do here? Right,
I love how I put you in the spot.
this is. I just can't believe you took David Turnbull. Who are you? Who are your other? I'm not probably not gonna take because he's
I
controversial. But who?
was I was stuck between, believe it or not, three Hearts players. I was stuck between Aaron Hickey. I was stuck between Alan Hickey, John Suter,
John
and
Stewart.
John
How
Suter.
many times have we been over this?
And I like John Suter, right? I think he's a good player. And finally, Craig Halkett. They were the three players I was stuck between, but I ended up going for Turnbull.
Right. Okay. Well, one of the ones that was going around my head. There was two names going around my head. I was thinking Aaron Hickey and Ali McCann from St Johnstone. But
Mm.
see, the thing is with Aaron Hickey for me,
He's
yeah, I'm
some
going to
man
take Aaron
player.
Hickey. I'm going to take him. I'm going to go Aaron Hickey.
Uh-huh.
This kid has been talked about, like all the big clubs in Europe have been after him and all this carry on. He's played so many games. Talk about being chucked into the deep end. I mean, he's been chucked. He played like so many different positions for Hearts. He's played up like all over. He's played left back, right back. He's played in a back three. He's just a kid, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And literally, Hearts have been awful, and he's come through it. With his stock still quite high, which is kind of credit to him. To play a team that's that bad and still, we talked about as a talent. I don't know. Part of me thought for a while it was maybe just because he is so young and he's playing first team football, people automatically make the assertion that then he's going to be something special. But it is clear to see that the kid is going to have a future in the game. I think
Yeah.
a big part of it. I think next decision for him is key. I mean, it depends how long he wants to stay at Hearts. Because it's not like he's not playing. He is playing, but is he going to keep getting better playing for Hearts if Hearts don't turn a corner? Or does he risk going to a big side that's interested and maybe get stuck in the sort of youth system for the foreseeable? So I think the next decision in his career is pretty
It's
key. I think in terms of potential, yeah, I think I'll take a chance on him.
it's a weird one for Aaron Hickey, of course, because if he does turn a corner with Hearts, the corner most likely at this rate is going to be relegation. And they were playing in a championship. So it's a dodgy one, but I'm quite happy with taking Turnbull, so you can have Hickey. And that leads us on to the Scottish Championship, where we get a pick of two players each. I've just realised, in fact, that you should have had the first pick for the Premiership round, I think. So, because if we're doing it separate, then if I'll just go with the first again, then okay. Because
hold on. Let me hear your logic here because I definitely
so
want
the logic usually is like so in the NFL draft in the first round, whoever had the 30th pick gets the first pick in the second round.
Okay, right. We'll do that then. I mean,
so that means you can get the first pick for this and League One. But that also means I've just gifted you the clear and obvious candidate from the Championship. Or have I? Are you going to take him?
You're playing in my head now. The thing is, with the Premiership picks, it didn't matter because I couldn't take a Celtic player anyway. So.
Exactly. So I've kind of got away with it. But you get the first pick for now, League One or League Two.
I'll go first for the Championship then.
Right.
Obviously, there's two. That I think are the standout options. do I go with my heart? Do I go with my
I
head?
was about to say this is definitely a play on whether you follow your bias, your favouritism, or you go with your napper really.
I'm not taking Joe Cardle, just so we're clear. I'm sorry, Joe. That'll probably come back to bite me like it did in the FM draft.
Exactly.
Right, I'm going to take as my first pick from the Scottish Championship, Mr. Kevin Nisbet. Thank you very much. Please.
You're taking Nisbet.
Why not? He's the best player in that league, mate.
Really?
He's the best player in that league. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well that makes it easy for me. I'll take Big Shank, Big Lawrence Shanklin.
Well, let's give our well. To be honest, we don't really need to justify these two. It was just about the order we were going to take them in. So, well, for Nisbet, I'll talk a bit about him. So I've watched him now at Dunfermline all season long, and he started slowly. To be honest, I think he scored against Dundee in the opening day, and then he went a few games without scoring. I was wondering what have we got here. Obviously, coming from League One, where I think he scored 30 goals for Rovers last year in League One. Mm-hmm. And I've seen it so many times with players in League One who make the step up and they can't do it. We had it with El Baktui. Obviously, he scored 30 goals for Dunfermline in League One, went to Dundee in the Premiership, didn't do that well, came back into the Championship and did pretty hopelessly. So I think a lot of Dunfermline fans were sceptical that he couldn't make the jump up. But, I mean, wow. I mean, the boy, literally, he's the best striker I've seen at Dunfermline that I can really remember watching. He's just fantastic. You're talking about a lad he's big, he's strong, he's quick, he's got a bit of skill, he's great at holding the ball up, he can finish. I mean, in the 6-yard box, in the box, he's absolutely dynamite. But, he scores all types of goals as well. I mean, we've seen him score goals from outside the area as well, headers, penalties. He's absolutely fantastic. And I think the worrying thing for Dunfermline fans is we thought we might lose him in January when we were just desperately hoping to keep hold of him. But now with this coronavirus carry on, he's got a year left in his deal. I don't know if he's going to be bought in the summer. And that was obviously the plan because we want to get a return on the investment. Well, not the investment, we just wanted to make some money off him. But
exactly.
I don't know if a club's going to have money to spend on him. So it might be we're in a situation where we get another year out of him, but we lose him for nothing next year. So
unless he signs another deal, might be nice enough.
He might do. He's absolutely fantastic. There's no doubt in my mind he could play in the Premiership in Scotland for any of the bottom 6 and some of the top 6 teams. Easily.
Fair enough. Shankland, I feel like I don't... Oh, well, sorry, never realised you. I thought that was you done.
I could go on forever, I could.
I know you could, We've heard that enough. Shankland, what do I need to say? Goal scorer, bang, done. Everybody knows Lord Shankland. He'll leave Dundee United one day and ultimately go to bigger things.
My thing with the reason I've kind of still gone with Nisbet over Shankland is Lawrence Shankland's very much a poacher. He's very much an 18-yard box goal scorer. He relies on chances being created. We've seen it. I mean, I've seen it so many times where you watch Dundee United and if you don't create chances for Shankland, you don't even notice he's playing sometimes if he doesn't score, which is fine if you're a team that's going to have loads of the ball and loads of chances. But, I mean, this was playing for a team who, a lot of the time are not dominating the ball and not creating chances aplenty for him. Sometimes he's just making them himself. He's got the ability to do both, whereas I don't know if Shankland, if you put him in a lower sort of, say like a Hamilton or a St Mirren or a St Johnstone, whether he'd be able to have the same return without chances being made for him regularly.
Well, you'll do your best to give Nisbet the sort of justification he deserves, I suppose. Well, good player. Shankland, both of them. Fantastic goal scorers, we know that. For your second pick, who are you going with? Please don't be mine.
Right, I've got 3 names here that I have in my head.
Right, okay.
2 of them are from Ayr United.
Nah, you're bugger.
Actually, right. I'm gonna take Stephen Kelly.
Oh, that is not what I expected. That's fine.
You take Alan Forrest, didn't you?
Aye, because I may as well just say it now. I'm taking Alan Forrest. That's my pick because that was who I wanted, and now you've just gifted me him, so I'm not going to complain there. Justification.
I've seen a lot of it this year, so I just think Kelly. I think he's got a few years on Forrest. I think he'll be maybe another year on loan, but I don't think he's a million miles away from being in and around the Rangers squad, if I'm honest. I think he's really, really good. He plays in the middle for Ayr, but I think naturally he's more of a sort of number 10, top end of the pitch. In the Championship, he's played a lot of the time as kind of a 2. I think the kid's really talented. He's got a great eye for a pass. He's got goals in him. He's only going to get better. And I think that, I think I'm basing this mainly off the fact that the few times I did watch Ayr this year, he kind of stood out more than Forrest did in those particular games, and that's kind of be my lasting impression of the two. So that's why I've gone with Kelly, I think.
Well, I've gone with Forrest. Obviously, Forrest working his backside off to get that move to the Premiership. He'll be joining is it Livingston at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And what will be a big move, I think, for him. It'll be obviously a chance for him to take his game up another level, join his brother in the top flight of Scottish football. And I think we'll see, he's one of the best playmakers in the Championship. We've seen that his assist record is fantastic. He can also chip in with a goal here and there. He's a good wee player. I don't feel like there's much else I need to add. You've also...
The was kind of burning and Livingston announced that signing out of nowhere. It was like...
I know, it was just really random. Quite odd. I wonder how that will work with how we end the season.
Yeah. I mean, I was speaking to a few people about this, about players that are... We'll probably do this sort of talk in a podcast at some point, because I think it is quite important to discuss what will happen with players who are out of contract and stuff. Because obviously, the season's pretty much done now, but we've no idea when the next one starts. So that kind of leaves so much uncertainty. Forrest, I think, will do well for Livy. So yeah, it's good.
I think he's the kind of player who'll fit into Livy really well. I think Livy needed a player like him to just bring in a bit more attacking for. Look, their season, they're back to back. They've been fantastic now. A team who's been expected to go down, and they've performed really well. And they have got creative players. Don't get me wrong, but I think someone like him is kind of like a missing piece of the puzzle. I think he'll come in and fill the role that he's expected to do incredibly well. Right, that brings us on to League One then. We're picking one player from League One.
You back the first pick here?
Giving it to you because I had the two first picks, and there's the Higgy. I'll need to pause now because my man's put on the bloody Hoover, and I'm sure that we can hear it in the video. Give me a moment. Hold on, David.
You gotta leave that bit in. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, there we go, right. Well, Hoover's off now.
Yeah, right. I'll leave that wee bit in, that'll be hilarious.
Right, that's fine, we'll leave it in then. Right, League One, on you go.
Yeah, right, League One. So, this is, people are going to take this apart, because technically, if the season has ended, he's technically no longer a League One player, but I'm taking him anyway, I don't care what anyone says. I'm taking a young lad who has... He's not scored a barrel load of goals this season, but for Wraith Rovers, I'm taking Kieran Bowie, young striker. He signed a pre-contract with Fulham, so technically he's gone to Fulham now, but you know what, he played in League One last year, I don't care. I think he's only 17, let me just double check this, but this kid, he's played so many games for Wraith Rovers. Like, when you've got someone who's playing that many games at such a young age for a team who are near enough the top of a league, to then attract the attention from down south. I think Fulham are a team, if you think about some of the youth prospects that have come through Fulham in recent years, their youth system. Dembele is the main one, but then you think guys like Ryan Sessegnon and all that as well. So yeah, 17-year-old kid. I mean, he was born in 2002. That makes me feel so old.
Oh God, 2000, that's just madness. Oh dear, God Almighty.
And he's now signed for Fulham, and he's going to go down there. So he's my pick. I haven't seen an awful lot of him. From people that I know have seen him, are impressed. So he's my pick.
All right. I was very conscious of taking too many strikers. I know we're not trying to make a full team here. We're literally picking the best quality options that we can. So I'm just going to do it. 25 years old. If we're talking next 5 years, then he'll be in the best 5 years of his footballing career, potentially. I'm going to be going for the opposition to Kevin Nisbet, and I'm going to go for Declan McManus.
Have a word with yourself. He's not even on the same level.
Declan McManus is, Falkirk's talisman, top scorer in League One. I mean, he's a cracking player, and he's going to do it in the Championship. He's not. I think so. I think he'll do it in the Championship.
He's been in the Championship multiple times before, multiple clubs, and never.
I know he played for Aberdeen as well. He's been in the Premiership. He's been all about the place. But I mean, I don't know. I just think that he's matured a lot. At 25 years old, I mean, he's learned, and this is the perfect. I think this has happened at the perfect time, not the coronavirus, the season that he's had. I think this has happened at the best time for him, because he's kind of broke up what was probably a mid-par few years for him, and he's went to League One with a Falkirk team who're desperate to get back up, and he's firing all cylinders for him. He's been the best player in the league, arguably. So I think this could be the real turning point for him moving forward. Yes, it could potentially. I think League One was definitely the hardest to pick anybody from. I'm just going to go with him because I feel like, if we're talking best players and going with quality, he's up there towards the top anyway. There's not many that you could maybe say that are better. Yourself, you've obviously picked a great pick, but I think if you want to go with somebody established, then this is the best established player you can get in League One.
Yeah, one thing I'll say from McManus is we had him at Dunfermline in, what was it, 2017-18 season, and listen, the fans loved him. But I could never, ever, ever see him becoming a prolific goal scorer. I'm amazed at what he's done this year. Amazed. I mean, he played up front with Nicky Clark, and the fans preferred him to Nicky Clark, but mainly because of how hard he worked. It wasn't to do with, like, in terms of a goal scorer, he wasn't anywhere near Clark. I'm amazed he's been able to score so many goals in League One. I hope, well, I don't really care if he's at Falkirk, but I think for him, this season will probably be good for him stepping back into the Championship. He can take what he's learned in terms of being more clinical in front of goal, but I've got a few doubts as to whether he can still perform at that level in the Championship.
One of us will be vindicated at some point. Yeah. Obviously, Falkirk.
I went with a real youth star, the future option there, and you've gone.
Falkirk need to, wait though. They have to bide their time due to the fact that they're ready for the team going up next year. So maybe it's a stupid pick, but I mean, as I said, League One, it's not a league that's filled with a vast selection of quality. So it's always going to be hard. So that brings us on to League Two, which is the final pick for us all, or for the two of us. And I've got mine. I know it's one. I just know it's not going to sit well with you, but I'm going for someone who I still insist is probably a better player than being in League Two. I think that he's someone who, we all know him. He's been around.
Right.
He's been around.
I can't believe you're going to associate this channel with that. But
can spot his hair a mile away.
There goes any monetization in this video.
I'm going for Fraser Fyvie.
Where are you going for? Who?
Fraser Fyvie.
Oh wow, that's not who I thought you were going for.
Who did you think I was going to take?
Actually, that doesn't even make sense because who I thought you were going for, he actually plays in League One.
Right, you think David Goodwillie? I know. I was like, that's not. I was like, see when you were saying that, I was like, is Fraser Fyvie done something I don't know? Fraser Fyvie, 27 years old, obviously down at Cove because they've got a clear plan of what they're wanting to do with their club, and this is a team who's going to be playing in League One next season. Which is such a meteoric rise when you think about it over the past couple of years. It's pretty sensational. I mean, obviously they've got a financial backing in their team, which isn't seen in a lot of teams in League Two. They're bringing in players like Rory McAllister and Fraser Fyvie for starters. Like, it's madness the players are managing to bring into their team. But Fraser Fyvie is someone, he's went from Aberdeen, he's played at Hibs. He's a Premiership name. He has been for his whole career, basically. And obviously there is something there that means he's not good enough to, if he's stuck in League Two and other teams aren't really attracting him elsewhere. But he's getting paid a big wage at Cove, by miles the highest earning player. This is someone who probably, yes, does want to be on that journey with them. But if was offered a wage that was matched to the Premiership, he'd be back there. It would be. So I think he's someone who could fit into a team in the bottom six of the Premiership. I think he's shown that in his career. He's got that quality. Yeah. And if you're looking at League Two, once again, with no disrespect, I mean, I can't put my own arse. They're all better than me. But you're not looking at, once again, a vast selection of quality. But he is up in that upper tier of the players in League Two. I think you've got other players around there. You've got Mitch Megison as well, who's another Cove player, who was another selection, same age as Fraser Fyvie. But for me, Fraser Fyvie has been around. He's had experience. Probably can bring a lot to a team. And for me, it was a clear option for League Two.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. He's a lot better in League Two. I think, though, for Fraser Fyvie, I think Cole's perfect for him because I think, yes, he could play at a higher level, but I think that will come by playing with Cove. They're obviously on upward trajectory. I mean, they'll want to be in the Championship in, in League One next year. They want to be in the Championship in 2-3 years. I think that is their aim. I don't think he's quite good enough to go back to the Premiership. I think when he was at Dundee United last time, he's had his injury problems throughout his career. There's never been doubt about his quality. Yeah, it's a good pick, but I'm kind of glad you took him because that's not who I thought you would take and not what I wanted to take. So I'm going to take someone from Cove who has Dundee United connections. Again, I'm kind of abusing the whole loan system here, but I'm going to take Declan Glass from Cove.
All right, fair enough.
There's a young lad who's been you know, I feel like most times I've seen the SPFL Team of the Week this season, he's been in there. He's just been fantastic, so creative. I think it's like, you know, goals and assists the boy's got. Clearly, he's going to be someone Dundee United are going to be looking to bring through to their first team in the near future. Great season with Cove. I think for a lot of these young lads, you know, he could have easily played reserve football with Dundee United, but playing proper men's football will be a big thing for his development, and the fact that he's been successful doing that in a team that's winning can only bode well for the future for him. And I think that he will be someone that'll be playing in Dundee United first team sooner rather than later.
Fair enough. That's it. That brings the draft to its conclusion. So the teams will be on the draft board graphic on the screen if I have bothered my Jacksie to do it, which I'm assuming I need to, so we actually know we've picked. But you have a choice. Who has the better team? Is it the man himself, David, or is it me? Very quickly, did you write down who you picked, David?
No, but I can probably rattle the names off.
I can. Well, on the right-hand side of the screen will be Ryan, and he has decided to go with the picks of John McGinn, Andy Robertson, Ryan Fraser, Odds Edouard, Alfredo Morelos. Who was my sixth? Who was my other Premiership pick? Now slipped my head. David Turnbull. Into the Championship with Shankland, and no, I forgot my other one to do there. Oh, Alan Forrest, that was it. Well done, you're better than me at this. League One, I decided to go with Declan McManus, and in League Two, decided to go with Fraser Fivey. David, yourself, who did you take?
I took Billy Gilmore, Scott McTominay, Callum McGregor. Who else did I take? Yanis Hadji, Lewis Ferguson, and Aaron Hickey. And then I took Kevin Nisbet, Kieran Bowie, and Declan Glass. Well,
that's it. Thank you very much, everybody. Get voting. Make sure one of us has given the...
We want to see everyone's picks in the comments as well, because
yeah, that's right.
We had some shocking picks, but I want to see everyone else's to see if they did better.
Yep, exactly. See who can assemble the best, and the best will get pinned. There we go. That's a nice incentive for you. Make sure to support the channels, all the socials and stuff on the screen. Blah 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 blah. You know the dance by now. From me and David. We'll see you all next time.